What up everyone? So recently you'll probably have seen a bunch of information going around about the Bleed Zealot crit build, which is just the strongest build pretty much for him at the moment. It's crazy strong with most weapons. It's better on stuff like the claw sword and infinite cleaving. But what I'd like to do is go through and show you a little bit of an alternative which I'm having a ball with, and it's possible that it's a bug, so it could be patched out. I'm hoping it's a bug, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit silly. But the crit build, if you haven't seen it, you take toughness on critical hit because the build itself will be critting fairly often. You then take bloodletting, which gives you increased crit chance if the target is bleeding, and any crits you do cause bleeding. You have inspirational exertions, which gives your allies toughness as long as you use your ability when in coherency with them. Take Holy Reverence, so if you're passive procs you can heal yourself back up, and this is quite important because the bleed works with this as well. You take Rising Conviction, which gives you 4% damage per stack, max up to 5. We don't use a gun much, so there's no point taking that, and I'm pretty sure this is just more damage than this in general. And then you take Invocation of Death, which lets you get your ability up more often, so this and this synergize really well, and this synergize really well, and you're just constantly getting it up. Now the weapon that we are going to be talking about in conjunction with this is actually the combat blade, and the reason is because of this perk, lacerate. Now lacerate causes bleeding stacks on non-weak hits, so you'd think it's a bit weird that we're combining that with something else that gives bleeding, but it's the crit chance we want more than the actual bleeding. All of these other stuff are inconsequential. This just happens to be the combat blade I have and I've been using. But the unique thing about lacerate is because of the way that the damage works, it procs off non-weak spot hits. Weak spot hits are the head, so you can see he's not bleeding, he is bleeding because I didn't hit him in the head, and it will re-proc itself. So if I hit him in the leg, it's going to continuously bleed him. Now it's not huge damage, so there are other weapons that are going to kill one-on-one targets a lot quicker in Damnation. This probably shouldn't be your meta pick or go-to, but it's a lot of fun, and this is why I love it. So I've just hit his shield, and I didn't do any damage to him, but the bleed itself is ticking up really quickly. And because of the way bleed works on Ogryns, it just does more damage. I suspect it's based off armor type and maximum health. But you can just walk around, hit things, and it'll just proc up infinitely. Which means you can hit any target in one hit. This also does work for bosses, so I'll try and put a clip up of it after this where I hit a boss once, and then I could do more DPS if I went and hit the target, but me and my team have actually hit a boss and just left it, and then because we were like speedrunning or something like that. So I'll show a few clips of me using this and in scenarios. Again, I don't think this is going to be meta, but it's definitely fun to do. But make sure you're not trolling your teammates and you're still helping, because as much as infinite bleed is going to kill quickly, proc it on that, it is going to kill quickly, but if I proc a bleed on it and then do some headshots in there, it kills it quite a bit quicker. So just because your bleed will kill it doesn't mean it's going to be the quickest option, so do try and help them out sometimes. Alright, and on to the clips. In this scene you can see that we've just opened up the doorway, we walked through, and we've triggered the boss. This room is completely full of specials, lots of shotgunners, and we're just being held back by all those. On top of that, the boss is spawned. Now this is on Damnation difficulty, so lots of damage being taken by short bursts. So I hit the boss once to trigger bleeding, and now I'm dealing with everything else. I'm trying to tie up all the gunners that's killing the team while damaging the boss, and then just dancing around trying to avoid it at the same time while my team has space to res. Unfortunately we didn't give them enough space, so I go back in, put the bleed onto the targets and keep pushing it through. And you'll see that the boss has taken almost half health, almost solely from bleed. Get the reses back up. Again, I'm going to choose not to get the res, take out these gunners because I wouldn't have been able to res while I've been shot, and now we can DPS the boss pretty much for free, and the team's back up. We lost one in total, but we were able to half health the boss while dealing with things, mostly just because of bleed procs. And then the rest of this is just killing the boss. So once again, we've got another boss spawning in, and this time I choose to kind of troll my team slightly, which isn't the best thing to do, but it kind of worked out. So I hit it right at the start when it popped down, and then I'm just kind of trying to assess what's going on, if there's going to be any elites coming from behind, if who's it's locked onto. And the whole time the bleed's proccing, my teammates are shooting in the back. If I pull my gun out and shoot at this point, I'm probably going to do less damage because the bleed's going to do more damage than me flailing, and pulling the gun out will stop the bleed because it won't proc infinitely anymore. So I just end up choosing to make sure there's nothing coming behind us and try and deal with it. So we've just finished the scanning at this point of the level. We get cut off by fire before the doors even open up, so we have to try and deal with that. And while we're dealing with that, a charger comes in and somehow clips me. He then unfortunately throws me out the lift and I get fired again, so I have to push forward into far too many things. I swing as I go, getting the bleeds off. I've gone down to my passive, look how much health I get, and pay attention to the kill feed. Because I've only hit a few targets once or twice, and look at that. It's like 5-6 things killed instantly, I get all my health back. I play this a bit sloppy, take a bit of damage, but that to me showcases what this dagger can do, and that was the last clip of this, so thanks for watching and have a good one.
My game crashed.